Welcome to today's video, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of American numismatics and uncover the stories hidden inside some of the most sought-after coins in history. In this episode, we are exploring the top 3 most valuable and expensive United States ultra-rare coins, focusing on their unique designs, historical importance, and the incredible reasons they stand out in the world of collectors. From rare mint eras to limited production pieces, each coin we discuss carries a legacy that goes far beyond its face value. Before we begin, take a closer look at these incredible pieces of history with us, including legendary coins like the George Washington $quarter and other rare finds that have shocked collectors with their unexpected worth. Whether you are a beginner or a seasoned coin enthusiast, this journey will reveal how everyday pocket change can sometimes turn into a life-changing discovery. So stay with us, because what you're about to see might completely change the way you look at old coins forever. Let's get started. First up in the world of American numismatics, few coins attract as much everyday curiosity and collector attention as the United States George Washington $quarter, especially the 1973 issue. This coin belongs to the long-running Washington Quarter series that began in 1932 to honor the 200th birth anniversary of George Washington, the first president of the United States. By 1973, the coin had already transitioned into its modern copper-nickel-clad composition, replacing the earlier silver quarters of pre-1965 years. Even though it was produced in massive quantities for circulation, the 1973 quarter still carries strong historical value because it represents a period when U.S. coinage was fully modernized. A heavily circulated, dirty example of this coin often tells a silent story of decades of passing through countless hands, wallets, cash registers, and everyday American life, making it a small but powerful artifact of economic history. The 1973 George Washington $quarter was minted at both the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and the Denver Mint, marked with a D, and both versions share the same basic design created by sculptor John Flanagan. On the obverse side, the strong profile of George Washington faces left, capturing his iconic leadership and dignity, while the reverse displays a majestic American eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows surrounded by olive branches. This symbolism reflects both military strength and peace, which were central themes in early American identity. Even though millions were struck, each individual coin becomes unique when it enters circulation, as wear, scratches, grime, and environmental exposure begin to reshape its surface into something entirely personal and historically textured. A dirty 1973 quarter is not just a coin that has lost its shine, it is a visual record of its journey through time. Dirt, oxidation, and surface wear often come from decades of handling, storage in pockets, exposure to air, and even being buried in soil or forgotten in old containers. This natural agging process gives the coin a darker tone, sometimes dulling Washington's facial features and softening the eagle's feathers on the reverse. While many people might overlook such a coin as common change, collectors often see it differently. To them, the wear patterns and patina can reveal the coin's authenticity and circulation history, making it a physical timeline of American commerce during the 1970s and beyond. From a production standpoint, the 1973 quarter is made of a copper core layered with a copper-nickel alloy, which gives it its silver-like appearance without containing any actual silver. This change occurred after 1965 due to rising silver prices, marking a significant shift in U.S. coinage history. Although it is not considered rare in standard circulated condition, its importance lies in its role within the post-silver era economy. Billions of these quarters were produced, which means most surviving examples are common, yet high-grade uncirculated versions, or those with mint errors, can attract strong interest from collectors. Even a worn, dirty version still holds its full legal tender value, but its collectible value depends heavily on condition and uniqueness. Collectors often examine 1973 quarters closely for mint errors and variations that can dramatically increase value. These include double die strikes, off-center strikes, misaligned designs, or unusual planchet flaws. While most circulated coins are standard, the possibility of finding an error coin keeps interest alive in pocket change searching. A heavily worn coin may hide subtle features that require magnification to identify, which adds an element of mystery and excitement. This is why even a dirty, low-grade 1973 quarter can still become a topic of fascination in the numismatic community, especially for beginners who dream of discovering a hidden treasure in everyday money. The historical context of 1973 also adds emotional depth to this coin. The United States during this period was experiencing economic shifts, including inflation concerns and changes in currency usage. Coins like the Washington quarter were essential in daily transactions, from vending machines to public transport and grocery stores. A dirty, circulated 1973 quarter may have passed through thousands of such real-world transactions, silently witnessing everyday American life during a transformative decade. This connection to real history makes the coin more than metal. It becomes a storytelling object that reflects society, economy. In terms of collector demand, the 1973 Washington quarter is generally considered a common-date coin, meaning it is widely available in circulated condition. However, its popularity remains strong because Washington quarters form one of the most widely collected series in U.S. numismatics. Many collectors aim to complete full-date sets, which keeps even common coins relevant in the market. A dirty example typically holds minimal premium value, but it is still sought after by beginner collectors, history enthusiasts, and those who enjoy assembling complete pocket change collections. Its accessibility makes it a perfect entry point into coin collecting. What often surprises people is how even a heavily worn coin can still retain aesthetic and educational value. The fading details on Washington's face, the softened eagle design, and the darkened surface all contribute to a vintage look that some collectors actually appreciate. Photographers and content creators also use such coins for storytelling visuals because they represent authenticity and age. In this sense, a dirty 1973 quarter can become more visually compelling than a shiny modern reissue, especially when presented in dramatic lighting or close-up macro shots that highlight its imperfections. Ultimately, the 1973 George Washington quarter dollar, especially in a dirty, circulated condition, stands as a reminder that value is not always defined by rarity or condition alone. It is defined by history, journey, and meaning. While it may not be a high-value rare coin in the traditional sense, it carries the legacy of American coinage, the image of one of the nation's founding fathers, and decades of real-world circulation. For collectors and enthusiasts, it represents an accessible piece of history that can still be found in everyday change, proving that even the most ordinary-looking coin can hold an extraordinary story if you take the time to examine it closely. Next up in the 1970 Washington quarter is one of those American coins that many people ignore in pocket change. Yet collectors continue searching through old jars and dusty collections, hoping to uncover a hidden treasure. At first glance, the 1970 quarter looks like an ordinary piece of currency, featuring the legendary portrait of George Washington on the front and the iconic eagle design on the reverse. But certain examples of this coin have become surprisingly valuable in the coin collecting world. Produced at the famous United States Mint facility in Denver, marked by the small D mint mark, millions were struck during a period when the United States economy was rapidly changing, and silver coins had already disappeared from circulation. Even though the coin contains no silver, collectors still hunt for rare conditions, unusual errors, and untouched original examples that can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. What makes dirty and worn versions fascinating is the mystery hidden beneath decades of scratches, discoloration, and circulation damage. Some collectors believe the dirtiest coins sometimes hide the rarest details, and stories continue to spread online about forgotten quarters discovered in old boxes becoming unexpectedly valuable. That mystery alone has turned the 1970 Washington quarter into one of the most talked about vintage coins among beginner and professional collectors alike. The history behind the 1970 Washington quarter makes it even more interesting because it represents a transitional period in American coinage. During the 1960s, rising silver prices forced the United States government to remove silver from circulating quarters, replacing the precious metal with a copper-nickel-clad composition. By 1970, Americans were still adjusting to the new look and feel of these coins, and many people believed the newer quarters felt less valuable than the older silver issues. However, few realized that decades later, these exact coins would become collectible artifacts, representing a major change in U.S. financial history. The Denver Mint struck over 417 million examples of the 1970 quarter, meaning the coin itself is not rare in normal circulated condition, but scarcity begins to appear when collectors search for coins with exceptional details, unusual minting flaws, or high-grade preservation. Many dirty examples found today traveled through countless hands, cash registers, vending machines, and bank rolls across America before ending up forgotten in storage. Every scratch and stain on these quarters tells a story of the era they survived, from the Vietnam War period to economic inflation and cultural changes sweeping across the United States during the early 1970s. One reason the 1970 quarter has gone viral in the coin collecting community is because of rare mint errors connected to the series. Error coins often become dramatically more valuable than normal versions, especially when the mistakes are visually obvious and authenticated by professional grading companies. Some collectors search for double-die varieties, where lettering or numbers appear doubled due to misalignment during the minting process. Others hunt for off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, or coins struck on the wrong metal planchet entirely. A few rare examples of Washington quarters from this era have sold for shocking amounts simply because the mint accidentally produced them incorrectly. This possibility keeps treasure hunters constantly examining dirty old quarters under magnifying glasses, hoping to spot a hidden fortune inside a common-looking coin. Even heavily circulated examples can attract attention if they show unusual details or strong minting abnormalities. Stories on social media and auction websites continue fueling the excitement, with collectors posting dramatic before and after cleaning comparisons and high-value sales that make ordinary people rush to check their spare change collections for overlooked rarities. The design of the 1970 Washington quarter also plays a huge role in its popularity. The obverse features a bold left-facing portrait of George Washington designed by sculptor John Flanagan, while the reverse displays a powerful eagle perched on arrows with olive branches beneath, symbolizing both military strength and peace. Over time, dirt, oxidation, and environmental exposure can create unusual tunning patterns on these coins, giving them dramatic appearances collectors sometimes love. Some dirty quarters develop dark gray surfaces, rainbow tunning, or deep brown coloration that adds character and uniqueness. In rare situations, naturally toned coins become more desirable than cleaned ones because collectors value originality above artificial shine. A cleaned coin may appear bright, but harsh cleaning can actually destroy collectible value by damaging the coin's surface texture. This is why many experienced numismatists warn against aggressively polishing old coins. Sometimes the dirtiest-looking quarter is actually more valuable untouched, especially if it preserves original mint luster beneath layers of age and circulation wear. Another factor driving attention toward the 1970 quarter is the growing online market for collectible coins. Platforms like auctions, coin forums, and video-sharing communities have transformed ordinary coin collecting into a global treasure hunt where people share discoveries daily. Viral videos showing rare Washington quarters selling for hundreds or thousands of dollars have inspired millions of viewers to inspect old piggy banks, inherited coin jars, and forgotten family collections. Many people are shocked to learn that even modern-looking coins from the 1970s can carry premium value under the right conditions. Professional grading services now play a major role in determining a coin worth because even tiny differences in condition can dramatically affect prices. A heavily worn quarter may only be worth face value, while an uncirculated example with sharp details and strong mint luster could command significant premiums. Coins graded at the highest mint state levels become especially valuable because surviving flawless examples are surprisingly scarce, despite the enormous number originally produced. Collectors are particularly fascinated by dirty 1970D quarters because they often appear in estate sales, abandoned storage boxes, and inherited collections where the coins have remained untouched for decades. Some of the most exciting discoveries happen when people accidentally uncover old rolls of quarters hidden by relatives many years earlier. These forgotten groups sometimes contain nearly uncirculated examples protected from heavy circulation since the 1970s. In rare cases, collectors have discovered error varieties mixed among ordinary coins, instantly transforming a small collection into something extremely valuable. The thrill of that possibility keeps the hobby alive and continues attracting younger audiences through online videos and social media trends. Unlike expensive antiques requiring large investments, coin collecting allows almost anyone to participate because rare discoveries can still emerge from everyday pocket change. That accessibility is one reason Washington quarters remain among the most collected coins in the United States today. The value of a 1970D Washington quarter depends heavily on condition, rarity, and collector demand. Most circulated examples are only worth a small premium above face value, especially if they are heavily worn or damaged. However, coins with exceptional preservation, rare errors, or unusual strike characteristics can become dramatically more valuable. Certain high-grade examples certified by top grading companies have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Coins showing full details in Washington's hair, sharp eagle feathers, and original mint brilliance are particularly sought after. Collectors also pay close attention to contact marks, scratches, discoloration, and overall eye appeal when evaluating a coin's worth. A dirty coin itself is not automatically valuable, but sometimes dirt and oxidation conceal an extraordinary condition underneath. Because of this, experienced collectors carefully inspect coins before deciding whether cleaning or professional conservation might damage their long-term value. Next up in the year 1982 was a fascinating time in American coin history, and one coin that continues to attract collectors today is the iconic 1982 Washington quarter. At first glance, this old dirty quarter may seem like just another piece of pocket change forgotten in a drawer or buried inside an old coin jar. But hidden behind its worn silver-colored surface is a powerful story connected to American history, minting transitions, collector demand, and the mystery of rare surviving examples. The P mint mark represents the Philadelphia Mint, and interestingly, 1982 marked one of the most unusual periods for U.S. coin production because official mint sets were not produced that year. That single decision created unexpected scarcity in high-quality 1982 quarters, making surviving clean or uncirculated pieces far more desirable decades later. Today, even dirty circulated examples are being searched carefully by collectors hoping to uncover rare mint errors, strong strikes, or overlooked treasures worth far more than 25 cents. The obverse of the 1982 Washington quarter proudly displays the legendary portrait of George Washington, designed originally by sculptor John Flanagan. Washington's serious profile symbolizes leadership, discipline, and the birth of the United States itself. By 1982, this classic design had already been used for nearly 50 years, since the quarter series began in 1932 to honor Washington's 200th birthday. On the reverse side, the famous eagle with outstretched wings dominates the design, clutching arrows and olive branches as symbols of military strength and peace. Although millions of these quarters entered circulation, many became heavily worn from decades of use in vending machines, grocery stores, laundromats, and casinos. Dirty examples with dark tunning, scratches, and faded details often tell a visual story of economic history and daily American life. Collectors today sometimes prefer naturally aged, dirty coins because they appear authentic, untouched, and historically rich rather than artificially cleaned. One of the biggest reasons the 1982 Washington quarter became so popular among collectors is the unusual absence of U.S. mint sets during 1982 and 1983. Normally, collectors could buy fresh uncirculated coins directly from the government, preserving high-quality examples for future generations. But during those years, the United States Mint stopped producing official sets due to budget concerns and declining collector demand. As a result, most 1982 P quarters entered circulation immediately and experienced heavy wear very quickly. This means that sharply detailed coins with brilliant surfaces are far rarer than many people realize. Even though more than 500 million 1982 P quarters were minted, truly high-grade survivors are surprisingly difficult to locate. Coin hunters search through bank rolls, estate collections, and old family jars hoping to discover an overlooked specimen that escaped heavy circulation for over 4 decades. Another reason this coin creates excitement online is the possibility of valuable mint errors. Some 1982 P quarters have appeared with off-center strikes, doubled dies, die cracks, clipped planchets, or weakly struck details caused by worn mint equipment. Error collectors are willing to pay impressive amounts for dramatic mistakes because they represent unique moments in minting history. In some rare cases, quarters showing major doubling in lettering or unusual strike characteristics have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition. Dirty coins are especially important to inspect carefully because collectors sometimes ignore them, allowing hidden treasures to remain undiscovered. A dark, unattractive quarter sitting unnoticed in a coin pile could secretly contain a valuable error variety worth far more than its face value. This mystery keeps millions of coin enthusiasts searching every year. Condition plays an enormous role in determining the value of a 1982 P quarter. Most circulated examples are worth only face value or slightly more, especially if heavily worn. However, coins graded in extremely high mint state conditions by professional grading companies can become remarkably valuable. Since official mint sets did not exist, locating coins with strong luster, crisp details, and minimal marks is incredibly challenging. Some certified high-grade 1982 P quarters have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars at auction. Collectors carefully examine the eagle feathers, Washington's hair, the coin's shine, and overall strike quality under magnification. A dirty coin should never be cleaned aggressively because cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce collector value dramatically. In the world of coin collecting, original surfaces are often more important than bright appearance. The historical environment surrounding 1982 also adds intrigue to this quarter. During the early 1980s, the United States faced economic struggles including inflation, unemployment, and changing metal prices. In fact, 1982 was also the famous transition year for the Lincoln cent, when copper pennies shifted to zinc composition due to rising copper costs. Although the quarter remained a copper-nickel-clad coin, economic pressures influenced many minting decisions during that era. Coins from transitional years often become historically important because they reflect broader economic changes inside the country. Every worn 1982 P quarter circulating through American hands witnessed a period of political tension, technological change, and shifting financial conditions. Holding one today is like holding a small surviving artifact from a transformative chapter in American history. Modern social media and YouTube have also helped turn the 1982 P Washington quarter into a viral collector favorite. Videos claiming certain rare examples are worth thousands of dollars attract millions of viewers, fascinated by the possibility of finding treasure in ordinary change. Many people now inspect old dirty quarters using magnifying glasses and phone cameras, hoping to spot valuable details missed by others. Some collectors focus specifically on coins with dramatic tunning, unusual wear patterns, or vintage dirt buildup because they create a mysterious appearance that looks ancient and rare. Online marketplaces are filled with listings claiming extraordinary values for these quarters, though actual prices depend heavily on authenticity, condition, grading, and rarity. Still, the excitement surrounding hidden coin treasures continues growing worldwide. Collectors also appreciate the emotional connection created by old circulated quarters, like the 1982p, unlike perfectly preserved modern coins stored immediately after minting. These dirty quarters traveled through countless human experiences over decades. One coin may have passed through restaurants in New York, vending machines in California, gas stations in Texas, or flea markets in small American towns before eventually ending up in a collection. The scratches, stains, and worn edges become evidence of real history rather than flaws alone. Many collectors enjoy imagining the journeys these coins experienced across generations of American life. This sense of mystery and nostalgia transforms an ordinary quarter into something far more meaningful than its monetary value. Today, the 1982p Washington quarter remains one of the most searched modern American coins among beginner and advanced collectors alike. While most examples are common, the combination of missing mint sets, possible mint errors, historical significance, and difficult high-grade survival makes this coin genuinely fascinating. Dirty circulated quarters especially continue attracting attention because hidden treasures are often discovered where few people bother looking. Whether found inside an old jar, inherited collection, flea market box, or pocket change, the 1982p quarter reminds collectors that valuable history can still hide in plain sight. For millions of coin hunters around the world, the dream of discovering a rare and valuable quarter keeps the excitement alive every single day.